So in last sessions, we understand that what is software testing, why testing is important, and learned SDLC as well, right? So we have learned that SDLC. Then I have given one of the tips how to, give a presentation. So some of the people tried, very happy to see that. And remaining, I don't know, maybe if you are recording yourself, if you are listening from your side, that is also fine, right? But when you are listening, you could able to understand what are the things we have missed over there, right? So that's the reason I'm just telling you to record your audio in the no answer. What is software testing? What is SDLC? You just need to record. Then only you could able to listen the things again. Then you could able to change that. Every time you just change the recording, then you have to listen again. Then you will be getting clear idea. So what you have to think, right? Suppose if you are answering in this way, right? That is you are saying, look, okay, this is fine. Suppose now you are taking an interview. If someone is answering in this way, will you select the people? You can think in that point of view. Then you need to answer. Right. So maybe you are a company owner. You are selecting a people with the testing, testing people. So you have to think like, if suppose the people are answering in this way, so we'll be selecting or not. So that is the reason, that's the way we need to think and we need to answer your question. Fine. So now we have seen that how we have to go with the SDLC models we have seen. Software development life cycles is, is the activities that are performed in order to develop a software. And we have seen it goes through a lot of steps. So at the beginning, the customer has some requirements. He tells the requirements to the BA writing them in sequence steps and in good format. Then the designing and coding is going to happen. Once coding is done, here comes in the testing part. We begin the testing, and while we test the software, we find the defects. These defects are fixed. Then we release our product, right? Release our product to the client as per the requirements. So this is the complete flow of developing software. Right? This is what we have seen. So till this, are you clear? So next important things, we are going to learn software development methodologies. Right. So here we have a different methodologies there, not only one or two. So we have in the market, we have a lot of methodologies available. So now we are going to focus, some of the things. Some of the mostly widely used in the industry, we are going to focus. Right. So now, so we have different methodologies available. How many of you are aware of that? Different methodologies. Right, there are various SDLC models in the industry which are followed during the software development process. Right, each SDLC model, right, might have different approach, but SDLC phases what we have seen, that is same only. Phases and activities remain same in all the models. So what are the models are there? We have a waterfall model. How many of you are aware of that? Models. Waterfall model, spiral model, V model. Yes. Then currently market, 90% is asking one of the important methodology. How many of you are aware of them? Agile. Many people, many companies focusing on Agile model now. Right. So we are going to focus on Agile model as well. Right. So now we'll see what is waterfall model and what is that V model and what is that Agile methodology as well. We are going to see. So now we'll see what is waterfall model. Suppose if the requirement is not, changing, it is freezed, right? Once the requirement gathering phase, right? So everything is freezed. Then we are going with the waterfall model. Waterfall model is a traditional model. It is also called as we can call it as a sequential design process. Right, this is what. Can you able to view my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now this is waterfall model. Right, phases are same. Such requirements gathering, analyzing, designing, right, coding, testing, deployment, maintenance, right? In everything, the phases are same, even in the waterfall model as well. Every next phase, here you have to understand, every next phase begin only when the goal of previous phase is completed. This is what, waterfall model. So before start designing that, we must finish all the requirements. Once we finish designing, then only we are going with the coding part. Once we finish the coding, then only we'll go for the testing part. Right? We begin the testing and finding the bugs and releasing the software and all. So this is what your waterfall model. So everything is, it's going to, this is before going to start this phase, we have to think like, it should must finish this requirement gathering phase. So everything is the same way. So this is what, as per the diagram, this is the name also called waterfall model. Right, as per the name, as per the design, like, waterfall model is named. This is a SDLC process, one of the SDLC process. Some company is using this waterfall model. Right. So the next model is a, so once the requirement is freezed, even if it is a small project, right, then we'll go for a waterfall model. Because already every requirements we are finished, requirement gathering is finished, then we'll go for a one by one phases. Then we are going to continue that. So this is what your waterfall model. Right. So next we'll go for that next model, that is V model. V model is also known as that, verification and validation. So in this, each phase of SDLC must be completed before the next phase starts. It follows the same sequential design process. Same as a waterfall model. Then you can think like, why we have a waterfall model is there, then why we need to go with the V model, this verification and validation model. So here we need to understand, if you go for a waterfall model, so next to coding phase only the tester will be involved in the project, right? So we have seen that next to that implementation, right, the coding part, then only the testing will going to involve. But here in V model, testing team involved in the early of the SDLC. Testing start in the early stages of the product development. Actually here both the teams, like, development team and testing team will going to work parallelly. Right, testing team will going to start work on different activities, like preparing a test strategy, test planning, test scenario, test cases, right? Before executing, we have a lot of work. So that we need to do over here. Right. So, test plan, we have a lot of work is there, we need to go test plan, creating a test scenarios, test cases. Same time, dev team, development team is going to designing the things and coding part, everything they are going to do. Once the requirements were received, right, both the development and test team start their activities. So developers start building their high-level design of the product. Testing team involved the analyzes and understand the document. Right? The parallel it will go into. So once the requirements is getting right, so development team, what they are going to do, they are going to start high-level design, right, and low-level design. But the same time, testing team involved in the analyzing the requirement document. So analyzing means they have to understand the business flow. Then only we have to start writing the scenarios and writing the test cases and all. So first we need to understand the document. So we have to analyze the document. If any clarifications we need to add our query and we need to get one meeting right? When we need to schedule one meeting and we'll be clarify all our questions. That's what, testing team will going to do parallelly. So the development team will be going to design everything. So the next stage, the development team starts with the coding part. So that time the testing team involved writing the test cases and prepare the traceability. That is RTM. We can call it as a RTM, requirement traceability matrix. So parallelly we'll be doing. While doing the coding part, the developer will be doing the coding part. So the tester will going to writing the scenarios and test cases and prepare the traceability matrix. So this is what, parallelly we're doing in a V model. But, the phases, everything is same only. So in the next stage, the development team release the build to the test environment. Once the, unit test is done, they'll be deploy the product, right? Deploy the code into the testing environment. So the test team carries out different types of testing. Like we have a different types of testing is that we are going to cover in the next session. But now let's understand we have a different types of testing, maybe functional testing, integration testing, system testing, and acceptance testing. Everything will going to carry over here in the last stage. That is the next stage of the things, right? Once the development coding is done. So we'll cover what is traceability. I will share you the template for the traceability matrix. So now why we call it as a verification and validation model? So verification is checking the documents, designing and coding, right? Coding and programs. We check whether we are developing right product or not. So this side maybe we can call it as a verification. This side we can call it as a validation, right? So verification means we are checking that documents, right? Designing documents and we are doing a coding, programs, everything just we are verifying. Verifying, we check that whether we are developing right product or not. So here we can call it as a verification part. Once come to validation part, validations means we check that whether the developed product, because once here everything is done. So now here validation. We are checking whether developed product is right or not as per the requirement. Right. So maybe you may face the question, what is verification and validation? So verification is, you can, think in this diagram. So verification is checking the documents. So you can think like, in the documents means we are analyzing the documents, right? Then we are designing the things, designing high level designing. In testing, we are designing our test plan, test scenarios, test case creations, right? Then we are doing a coding and programming, everything. This is coming into the verification part, right? So validations part, once the code, everything is done, we are deploying into that stage. So now what we have to do, we are going to validate. Validate means we check whether the developed product is right or not, as per the requirements or not. Right. And verification is also known as static testing. Verification includes different methods, like, we can say inspections, reviews, and walkthrough. Everything is coming under the verification part. So validation is also known as dynamic testing. So here you can understand two things, two questions you may face. Maybe one is verification, validation. What is the difference in verification and validation? And one more thing you may face, what is static and dynamic testing? Right? Static testing is here in a verification is also known as static testing. Here we are going to do only that inspection part, review the code, right? Review the test plan and walk through, everything will be happening in the verification. That is called static testing. Validation is also known as dynamic testing. Validation include that, testing like functional, system testing, integration testing, user acceptance testing, everything is coming into the validation. That is dynamic testing. So this is what your V model. So is that clear in V model and waterfall model? Any question here in V model? Okay.
Ma'am, who will do the integration testing?
See, actually in big company, in a top MNC, we have a separate team. Integration separate team and system testing. But everything is tester only. Testing team only will going to do everything like, all the smoke testing, sanity testing, integration, regression, everything. But in as per the company, they will be having a different team. Right? Some company having a one team only for one project, maybe with the 7 or 8 members will be one team. So they are going to do all the testing of smoke testing, sanity testing, integration, regression, everything will be going to carried out by the particular team member only.
System testing and integration testing.
System testing
And integration testing same or different?
different. What is different?
Oh. Okay.
What is the different?
I don't know. I'm asking you.
Wait. I will coming into the testing part. So first we'll understand that model.
Okay.
We will coming into the testing,
Okay.
we'll learn everything. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So now let's move on to the agile. So this is very, very important, right? In most of the companies going for the agile methodology only. Right? In V model and waterfall model was very popular to complete the project. But in V model and waterfall model, some of the drawback is there. So what is the drawback? Suppose if what we have studied, once the requirement is freeze, then we are moving into the next phase. That's what we have seen in the different model. But here, suppose if the change request, coming into the during the project development. So change request means if suppose client is asking to add some more functionality, right? Or he wants to change the flow of the functionality, right? So if it is coming into the change request, then there will be high cost and time is required to incorporate these changes. Suppose some flow is happening over here. We'll see. So now recommend are finished. Designing freeze, they are doing a coding now. So once they are doing a coding part, that time the client is asking, okay, I don't want this way. Maybe you can change the flow. Right, so they are giving the flow. So already we have done almost 5 months of work. So we need to change everything. Right, so that high cost and time is required to incorporate the changes. Right, so that is what to overcome these drawbacks of the waterfall model, agile model was introduced in that market. Agile model is to follow some process. So what we have to, okay. So now we'll understand some process for that agile methodology. So first we are going with that project planning. Right, then we have a product roadmap, roadmap creation. Right, then we have a release planning. See, this agile model is very important one. Right, every company will going to, you can check it in Nakuri also, they will be asking agile. So if you are in your resume, if you added this keyword, then your resume will be going to shortlist over there. Okay, then after release planning, then what is that? We have a sprint planning. Then we'll coming into the daily meeting. Then we have a sprint review. I'll tell you each and everything, I'll explain. So this is what the process. Right. So now in agile, we have a completely different. There are some rules are there. So there are some roles and responsibilities there for each person. So here we have a roles will be Scrum development team. So Scrum development team means there will be different people. Maybe the tester also will be there, and developer also will be there, and Scrum master will be there, product owner is there, right? Lot of things. So this is a Scrum team. Okay, now, so you just understand the terminology. I'll explain you one by one. So now Scrum team is there. Then we have a product owner, right? So product owner is there. Then we have a Scrum master. So these are the roles involved in the agile process, right? There will be involved some roles, that is Scrum team, dev team, then product owner, then Scrum master. So now we'll see Scrum team. Scrum team here members include with the business analyst, right? BA. I mean here will be coming into the product owner and the designer, domain expert, tester, and developer. Everyone will be going to involved in this team, Scrum development team. Not only the development team, right? The name is a dev team. So here it will going to involve all the people, right? Whoever is going to work in the particular project, developer, tester, and business analyst, designer, everyone will going to involve. So all these members going to work together in close collaboration, right? So we'll understand some of the terminology as well. So now we'll understand what is sprint. Sprint, it is going to be the sprint time usually lies between 2 weeks to 1 month, right? So sprint means 2 weeks to 1 month. Suppose you are having a work. So you may think like, I have a huge work is there. But if you split the work, how it will be very easy? It will be very easy, right? See, now movies, everyone is watching movie. So it is almost going to be 1.5 hours to 2 hours, right? Suppose the movie is 4 hours or 5 hours, who is going to watch? Suppose one of the person is coming with the story, it is going with the 5 hours. Are you ready to watch 5 hours movie in the theater?
No, ma'am.
But now you are watching. How? How you are watching 5 hours movie? How many of you watching the web series? They are, making a 5 hours movie right now. How many of you watching web series? Netflix. This is completely 30 to 40 minutes of time, one series. How many series it's going on? 10, 20, right? How
Right.
many? Right, so you people are watching the movie. Even 5 hours movie also we are watching. They are making us to watch all the movies, even though that is a 5 hours. But what happened? They are not telling us, okay, go and watch the movie of 5 hours. But what they are telling? Okay, that is 30 minutes series, go and watch. But how many series it's going on? It's going on episode 10, 20, right? So many. We are sitting and watching that. So that's what here has been. So now sprint means I don't want to go with the complete project in only one time. So I'm not going to do that. So what we are going to split the task in 2 weeks or 1 month. So that is called, we can call it a sprint. So sprint means here there will be some of the tasks will going to assign within the 1 week, within the 1 month we need to complete. Right. So if I am seeing like, huge work, then no one will going to touch the work. But if I am getting a less work, then I can do that. So even I can do more work. So that's what, usually, even though if you are doing a work, then you need to split. Like, split, if you are splintered, sorry, if you splitted the work, then it is going to be very easy. Right, fine. So now, sprint means here 2 weeks to 1 month. That is based on the company. So this is predefined interval, or you can call time frame. Right. So now in this time frame, which work has to be completed and make it ready for a review or ready for a production deployment. So in this time frame, so the sprint, first sprint, we have a more sprint is there. One sprint, we have a 2 weeks to 1 month. So we can make it as a 1 month. Okay. So now here in sprint, we have a 1 month. 1 month, how many stories we are going to execute? Right. It is simple means that we work in a 1 month of the task and make it ready for review by the end of the month. I'll explain with you the detail in the real scenarios. So now we'll understand what is sprint. Sprint means predefined interval. You can call time frame. Right, now understand all the terms, what we are going to use in Agile. Right, one by one. So the next one is product owner. Who is the product owner? So Scrum team we have seen, right? Scrum dev team will be all the people, developer, tester, who is going to involve in the project will be one of the team, that is Scrum dev team. So now product owner. Product owner is that, he is the owner of product backlog. What is product backlog? Product backlog means there will be all the recommends. Recommends means we have studied recommend gathering, right? So they will be making every recommend and creating one of the backlog. So everything will be going to split out each and every one task. Like, they can call it as a stories. So suppose the user is asking, the client is asking like, user one, story one. Story one will be the login functionality. So we need to create a login functionality. A development team will going to create a login functionality, entering username, password, and login button. So the next story. So next story, maybe they can make it as a sign up functionality, right? Then the user's story number 3. Story number 3 will be maybe we can say forget password, right? So that is the way the stories will going to create. Right, stories 1 and stories 2, they'll be creating more stories and store it in a product backlog. 1 second. So stories 1, stories 2, in this way it is going to be listed. Okay, so where it is listed? It is listed in the product backlog. Who is the owner? Product owner. This product backlog owner is product owner. So this product owner, he is collaborate with that, client. Is collecting all the information, all the recommends from the client. Product owner is collecting all the recommends. It is going to store it in a product backlog. He is the owner of the product backlog. Product owner is the owner of the product backlog. So here all the stories are listed. Right. So now, as per the prioritize wise, it will going to move each stories to the, we have another keyword called, another terms called sprint backlog. So here what happened? This is all the stories are added in the product backlog. This is a huge one. So now sprint wise, here they are going to move one by one story into the sprint backlog. So suppose here I have 100 stories. Okay. So maybe 1,000 stories are there. Now here in this sprint. So in this sprint, they will be telling like, we can go with the 15 stories. Right? So 15 stories will going to add it over here in the first sprint backlog. Right. So now we'll understand one more role, that is Scrum Master. Scrum Master is the facilitator of the Scrum team. So the Scrum Master makes sure that the Scrum team is productive or progressive. In case of any blocks, right? Any block, Scrum Master follow up and resolve them for the team. So Scrum Master is the mediator between that, PO. PO is the product owner and the team. So he always going to monitor everything. Okay, everything is going pakka or what. So that's what it is going to check. So that is Scrum Master work. Right, then we have seen user stories. So user stories, nothing but recommend or you can say some features which has to be implemented. In the Scrum, we don't have those huge recommends document like, SRS document. SRS is a huge one. So, but here in product backlog, they'll be make it as a simple user story. So we have a lot of user stories are there, maybe 1,000 or maybe lakh. So what happened? If you see 1,000 work, okay, 1,000 scenarios you have to do. Okay, you can make it as a split everything. Print wise, only 15 stories. Now you can go ahead and do that. So the same way. Right, so this is what your sprint backlog and product backlog and Scrum Master work. Right, product backlog is a kind of bucket. You can think like that, or source. Where all the user stories are kept. This is maintained by the product owner. The product owner, right, prioritize the user story as per the business need. So he is going to discuss with the business and which are the stories we need to implement. So as per that priority, it is going to move the story to the sprint backlog. Actually, during the planning meeting, one by one user story is going to taken from the product backlog. Then the team will going to discuss, right? So whether what is the functionality, what is the feature we are going to do, everything will going to be brainstorming over there and understand the feature and functionality. Let us take a simple example. Let us understand with the example how it is going to work. So first, Scrum team. Right, so Scrum team means what we have seen almost. Suppose you can think like, 11 people. So 11 people are there in your company. Okay. So who are going to be? Maybe it include product owner, Scrum Master, tester, developer, and others. So that is totally, you can make it as a 11 to 12 people there in the Scrum team. Okay. So now this is what you need to just assume that you have a team. You are working in the as a tester over here. 12 people are there. So including development team, testing team, and product owner and Scrum Master as well. So now we'll coming into the sprint. First sprint it is started. Sprint is designed to follow, we can say 4 weeks. Okay, 4-week cycle. So we have a 1 month sprint starting from maybe today, 7th March. Okay, it's going to start from 7th March to 6th. This is April. So this is going to be 1 month cycle. So now product owner will going to involve. So the product owner has to prioritize the list of user stories in the product backlog. So now here we have a pre-planning meeting with them. Pre-planning meeting. So in pre-planning meeting, team decide to meet at the, so if suppose the sprint starts in the 7th March. So pre-planning meeting will be coming into the before the day. So maybe 6th. Okay, 6th March, what happened? There will be, pre-planning meeting will be there. So the product owner take one by one story from the product backlog, describe that. Okay, what is the feature? What is that, client recommends, everything will going to explain over here. Right, and it is going to leave the team. So the team will discuss everything. Okay, this is what the functionality. This is the entire team discussed and communicate directly to the product owner to have clearly understand the user story. Right, so one by one story. Similarly, it will going to take and it is going to discuss in the pre-planning meeting. After all discussion, individual team members go back to their workstation, identify their individual task for each story. Suppose we are having a 15 story in this sprint. Right, 15 stories are there. So now what I have to do? So what is my task? Right, what is the team task? What everyone task? So we have to decide over there. So the same thing we are going to discuss and will be understand each and every functionalities. Then we have to start our work. Then 7th March, right? So that is the day it is going to start. 7th March, entire the Scrum team meet for the planning meeting, right? Here we have a planning meeting. So in planning meeting, the final, user story from the product backlog is moving into the sprint backlog. So now everything is coming into the sprint backlog. So you can think like one of the folder. Okay. So you know that how many we can create a folders, right, in your system. So you can think in this way. This is one of the separate folder. Okay. So they'll be, this is for this month, maybe in the March. So March month, this March sprint, this one. So now they are going to go with the 15 user stories. 15 user stories. Right, so this is what we have done. I mean, we have added everything. We have finalized. We are making everything from, we are moving from the product backlog to sprint backlog. Is that this much clear? Right, so final everything is moved from product backlog to sprint backlog. For each story, each team member declare their identify the task. Right, if required, they can discuss those tasks, can size or when we can resize everything, we can able to do. Right, then what we have to do, that team have to enter their work, start their work. Individual task along with their hours, they have to go with the work. Once the sprint has started, based on the task assigned, right, each team member start working on those tasks. So then what happened? Then we have a daily. One second. So we have a daily stand-up call. So daily stand-up call, the team meets daily for 15 minutes and discuss the 3 things. What they are going to discuss. So what did I did yesterday? What I did yesterday, right? What I plan today to do work. What is there any blocking is there or not? So in my work, if anything is blocking or not. So that's what I need to discuss over here, right? So they are going to discuss what I did yesterday. What I plan today. What is my work, right? And what is the any blocks, right? So if anything is blocking or not. So that's what we need to discuss over here in the stand-up call. So actually the Scrum Master tracks the progress on daily basis with the help of chat is there, burn down chat is there. That is in the Jira tool. So we don't go and stress like that. So they'll be going to check over there in the chat. It is going to show you that how many progress is there. It is in a green color or red color. Some color coding will be there. So it is going to check. It's going to show you. Okay, it is in a green color. Okay, everything is going fine. If anything is not done properly, if anyone is not done properly, then it is going to show you that color. Then they'll be call and ask that why the people are not working, what happened, any blocks, what it is stopping. So everything they'll be going to discuss over there. So the Scrum Master always track the progress on a daily basis. Right. So in case of any block, the Scrum Master will follow up and resolve those. So this is what daily stand-up call. So after that, we have a review meeting. Right, in a review meeting, suppose here we have started a 7th March. So now we're coming into that next 6th April. Right, so the team meets again for the review meeting and member again explain that and demonstrate that and implement whatever the implemented user stories to the product owner. They are going to explain everything to the product owner. This is what we are understanding. This is what we have done so far. This is what we have completed. So one sprint over. Every story we have done. This is same thing will going to happen in our every sprint. Right. So one more meeting is there. One more meeting is retrospective meeting. So in this meeting, what happened the 7th March? The 7th April, the next month, the team meets again for the retrospective meeting. Here they will be going to check what are the things went well, what did not well. So what is the action item we have to take? So everything will going to discuss over here in the retrospective meeting. So this is the same process will going to happen for the next sprint as well. Right, this is what your complete agile. So simply you can think you are a scrum team, you are working on as a tester, right? So now in your company, your project is, as per the sprint wise, they are going to release. Okay, sprint wise, they are going to. So now in the first sprint, we have a product owner is there, product backlog is there, product backlog, we have a lot of stories, right? So the product owner is managing this product backlog. He is going to prioritize the stories, user stories, and they are moving as per the client request, as per the priority wise, they are going to move one by one story to the sprint backlog. So in this sprint, here I have a 15 stories, 15 user stories are going to develop. So we are not going to, one development team is there, testing team is there, right? So developer will going to develop. In parallelly, we are going to create a test cases, test scenarios, and we need to, once they are done, then we need to execute. So once it is done, then we need to, if I am finding any bug, then we need to raise. Then again, the developer will going to fix it. So that will be going to happen within 1 month, this sprint time. So if anything is not done, suppose if the bug is not fixed, what happened? They will be move that particular particular defect into the next sprint, maybe sometime, right? If the time is not there, so they are moving into the particular defect into the next sprint. Right, they will be going to fix and they will be going to, tester will going to test the things in the next sprint only. So this is what your agile methodology. Any questions over here? So the same way you need to explain in your interview as well. So what you have done in agile model, this is what we have done. So we have a sprint, 1 month sprint. So every sprint we have a different stories. We can't say like 15 stories, right? Maybe it's a 20, maybe it's a 25 based on the feature and flow of the user story. It is going to be maybe it's going to be high or it's going to be low, right? The number will be right. So now every day we have a stand-up call will be there. We are going to discuss what we have done so far, what we are planning today, and what is the blocks. This is what we are going to discuss every day stand-up call. Then we have a review meeting is there, and the finally retrospective meeting, we are going to discuss what went well so far. Right? So in the complete sprint, what went well, what did not go well. Right? Then what is the action item we have to take? So these are the things we are going to discuss over here in the retrospective meeting. This is clear. So now the next session, what we are going to learn, we are going to start writing our scenarios and test cases. We'll understand what are the testing is there, when we are going to perform different testing. That we are going to discuss. So this much, if you have any questions, let me know and we can discuss.